What is graphic design? Graphic design is a form of visual communication, used to convey a message to the audience by using graphic design elements. It is a visual representation of an idea, relying on the creation, selection, and organization of visual elements. Graphic design is the art, or profession of visual communication that combines images, words, and ideas to convey information to an audience, especially to produce a specific effect. Graphic design is communication design. It is a way of conveying ideas through visuals and design. In this class, we will discuss number 1. Graphic design elements. Number 2. Types of graphic design. Number 3. What is a graphic designer? Graphic design elements. Elements of graphic designs are the basic units of any visual design that forms the design structure and conveys its visual messages. As a rule, from childhood on, aspiring designers are people who enjoy the image-making process and so, at a minimum, possess a casual knowledge of elements and principles, the vocabulary and tools for building visuals. The elements of graphic design are 1. Line 2. Shape 3. Color 4. Typography 5. Texture 6. Size 7. Space 8. Balance. One. Line, the most basic element of the design. A line is a shape that connects two or more points. Lines can be curved, straight, thick, thin, two-dimensional, three-dimensional, whatever really. 2. Shape. A shape is a two-dimensional area with a recognizable boundary. Different types of shapes like circles, squares, triangles, etc. Shapes are divided into geometric and organic shapes, all of which are basic elements of design. 3. Color. Color is one element that is especially important in graphic design because there is psychology behind the feelings that color can evoke. There are three main characteristics to color: hue, the color family, value, how light or dark the color is, and saturation, the purity of the color. 4. Typography. Typography is the art of arranging text. Typography is very important as it can greatly affect the design's messaging. Different fonts, combined with sizing, colors, and spacing, can add power to the concept to communicate. 5. Texture. The texture is the physical quality of a surface. For example, texture can be rough, smooth, glossy, soft, hard, etc., such as cloth and brickwork to mirror the visual appearance of the actual texture. The texture is another element used to draw attention. It can be added to other elements like shapes, colors, and images. 6. Size. Size is the dimensions of a thing. Size can be measured as width and height. In graphic design, size is used as an indication of the importance, and it can also create visual interest in a graphic design by using different sizes. 7. Space. Space refers to the areas of the design that are left blank. These areas include any distance or areas between, around, below, or above other design elements. Designers intentionally place spaces in the design to add attention to areas of the graphic design. 8. Balance. Balance is the equal distribution of visual weight. Balance can be affected by many things, like color, size, number, and negative space. Types of graphic design. Graphic design has become pretty multifaceted. The overall concept is composed of different fields and specializations. Here are some of the most common types of graphic design. Number 1. Corporate design. Number 2. Marketing and advertising design. Number 3. Publication design. Number 4. Packaging design. One. Corporate design. Corporate design has to do with the visual identity of a company. Any visual elements that make up a brand's identity, such as a brand's logo, made with logo design software, can be associated with corporate design. This type of graphic design is used in brand marketing to communicate brand values through images, shapes, and color. Two. Marketing and advertising design. Probably one of the most widely known types of graphic design, marketing and advertising. When most people think of graphic design, they're most likely thinking of marketing and advertising design. Social media graphics, magazine ads, billboards, brochures, email marketing templates, content marketing, all examples of this are widely used type of graphic design. 3. Publication design. Publication design traditionally refers to print medium. But again, with the constant digitalization of our generation, it has crossed over to digital publishing. Publication designers need to work closely with editors and publishers to ensure layouts, typography, and illustrations are tastefully combined, producing the best possible end result. Examples of publication graphic designs include books, newspapers, newsletters, magazines, and e-books. 4. Packaging design. When you buy a new product, it most likely has some form of packaging, or visual element such as a label, sticker, or wrapping that is used to prepare the product for distribution, or sale. These elements are created by packaging designers. It's crucial that these designers are aware of current trends within the marketplace to ensure successful product marketing. What is a graphic designer? Now that we've covered the different types of graphic design, let's tackle the next big question. What is a graphic designer? In one word, graphic designers are visual communicators. A graphic designer is a professional within the graphic design and graphic arts industry, who assembles images, typography, or motion graphics together to create a piece of design. You can work for industry-related companies, like design consultancies, or branding agencies, agency graphic designer. Work with any company, in-house graphic designer. Work remotely on your own, freelance graphic designer. 1. Agency graphic designer. Many companies hire graphic design agencies to handle their designs for them. So, if you are working as an agency graphic designer, chances are, you'll be receiving a creative brief from companies to work on projects for many different brands. If you are working as an agency designer, you're expected to be a design expert. Oftentimes, agency graphic designers are very specialized in areas of graphic design. 2. In-house graphic designer. If you are working as an in-house graphic designer, you're employed by an established company and your work revolves around that single brand only. In this scenario, you're more of a graphic design generalist, so that you can meet all the creative needs of your organization. 3. Freelance graphic designer. Working as a freelance graphic designer is the most difficult, in my opinion, because not only are you expected to handle all design requests, but you're also responsible for running every aspect of your business. Sure, there are advantages like working on your own time and in your own space, but you will need knowledge in more areas than just graphic design. Summary. In this video we discussed 1. What is graphic design? 2. Graphic design elements. 3. Types of graphic design. 4. What is a graphic designer? Principles of graphic design. The principles of graphic design suggest how the designer should best arrange the various components of a page layout to ensure the elements of the overall design are connected to one another. The principles of design include the following: 1. Harmony and unity. 2. Hierarchy. 3. Balance. 4. Alignment. 5. Proximity. 6. Repetition. 7. Contrast. 8. White space. Let me explain in detail. 1a. Harmony. Harmony in graphic design is the arrangement of elements such as colors, shapes, and symmetry to create a pleasing image that works all together. Harmony can be described as sameness, the belonging of one thing with another. The repetition of design elements like color, texture, shape, and form is one of the easiest ways to achieve harmony to create a composition. 1b. Unity. Unity is when the elements in a space combine to make a balanced, harmonious complete whole. The space feels right and everything works together. The result is a pleasing feeling that everything is right with the space. 2. Hierarchy. Hierarchy is a visual technique that can help the viewer navigate your work. It shows them where to begin and where to go next, using different levels. 3. Balance. Achieving visual balance in graphic design is done by using symmetry and asymmetry. Symmetry adds balance to a design. When elements are same on both sides of an axis, the design feels harmonious. 3a. Symmetrical design. Symmetry is when elements are arranged in the same way on both sides of an axis. Perfect symmetry is when elements are mirrored over the axis and are exactly the same on both sides. 3b. Asymmetrical design. The arrangement of elements is different on both sides of an axis. 4. Alignment. Alignment is about keeping the design organized. All aspects of the design should be aligned with the top, bottom, center, or sides to create a visual connection between the elements. 5. Proximity. Proximity is a sense of the distance between elements. Proximity creates a visual relationship between the elements of the design. It doesn't necessarily mean the similar elements need to be put right next to each other, it just means they should be connected visually. Six. Repetition. Repetition is a reminder that every project should have a consistent look and feel. Once you've chosen how to use your elements, repeat those patterns to establish consistency throughout the design. This repetition ties together individual elements and strengthens the design. 7. Contrast. Contrast simply means that one item is different from another. Using contrast allows you to stress differences between elements, ultimately highlighting the key elements of your design that you want to stand out. Eight. White space. White space means negative space, like the spaces between content, between lines, and even the other margins. There is no one way to use white space correctly, but it's good to understand its purpose. White space helps you define and separate different sections. It gives the content room to breathe. Refer white space chapter. Summary. In this video we discussed Number 1. Harmony and unity. Number 2. Hierarchy. Number 3. Balance. Number 4. Alignment. Number 5. Proximity. Number 6. Repetition. Number 7. Contrast. Number 8. White space, or negative space. Ascender is the portion of a lowercase letter that extends above the mean line of a font, the X height. On the other hand, descender is the portion of a letter that extends below the baseline of a font. Lorem ipsum. Lorem ipsum is simply dummy text used by the design industry. It's used as placeholder text and has a more or less average distribution of letters, making it look like readable English, as opposed to using add content here within designs when the copy isn't quite ready. Orphans and widows. When only the last line, or word of a paragraph, is at the top of the next page, that is a widow. When the last line of a paragraph contains only one word, that is orphan. Logotype. A logotype is the name of a company that is designed in a visually unique way for use by that company. Most of the time, when people refer to a logo, they're referring to the brand's logotype. Logo mark or brand mark. A logo mark generally does not contain the name of the company, and, instead more abstractly represents that company using a symbol or mark. Style guide. A style guide is a set of standards for the design of anything related to your brand, whether it's a website landing page, business card, or printed document. The reason to have a style guide is to ensure complete uniformity in style and formatting, wherever the brand is used, to ensure no dilution of that brand. Refer Chapter 19. In design, scale refers to the size of an object in relationship to another object. Two elements of the same size can be seen as being equal, whereas elements with a clear variation in size tend to be seen as different. When putting together a design, think about how you can utilize scale to help you illustrate the meaning behind your image. Take the below example. The larger circle appears to be more influential and important than the smaller one. You could even say the smaller circle may be a little timid or shy. Aspect ratio. An aspect ratio is the proportional relationship between the width and height of a rectangle. A rectangle is used because the vast majority of screens are wider than tall. An aspect ratio is defined via a mathematical ratio, with two numbers separated by a colon. Width height. This means that 4 inches wide by 3 inches high would be a ratio of 4 to 3. Grid. A grid is constructed from evenly divided columns and rows. The point of a grid is to help designers arrange elements in a consistent way. Using the design grid, a page can be divided into fifths, fourths, thirds and halves, and any combination of these. Each grid row must contain parts that add up to one whole. For example, 1/4 plus 1/2 plus 1/4. Embed. Designers can import other images from outside folders into Illustrator files. These are what called linked images. When an image is embedded, it ceases to become a linked image, and instead, a copy of the artwork is incorporated into your Illustrator document. Cropping. Removing an outer portion of an image to change its focal point, to improve its framing, or to isolate the image from its background. Overlay. The overlay is a design technique where you place a certain object, text, logo, etc. over the canvas. Dimensions. The specific measurements of an artwork, identified by length, width, depth, or height. Die cut. A printing process used to cut materials, usually paper, into specialized or decorative shapes that aren't square or rectangular. For example, a circular invitation with fancy lace style edges has been die cut. Bleeds. Bleed refers to a small area around the edges of a print design, where the art or background color extends out of the design area. When your design is printed and cut, very small errors may occur in the cutting process, leaving blank white space at the edges of your design. A bleed is added to print layouts to avoid this. Trim or crop marks. These are thin lines, placed at the corners of an image, page or artwork layout to indicate where the paper should be trimmed after printing. Print ready usually pertains to PDF files that already have the correct bleed area and crop marks, ready for printing. Spread. A spread is a set of pages viewed together. It usually refers to two pages visible and joined together in an open book or magazine. Portrait refers to the vertical orientation of the paper or canvas. Landscape refers to the horizontal orientation of the paper or canvas. Mock-up. Model of a certain design, to see its actual look when applied. PDF, portable document format, is a file format that has captured all the elements of a printed document as an electronic image that you can view, navigate, print, or forward to someone else. PDF files are created using Adobe Acrobat, Acrobat Capture, or similar products. To view and use the files, you need the free Acrobat Reader, which you can easily download. Once you've downloaded the reader, it will start automatically whenever you want to look at a PDF file. PDF files are especially useful for documents such as magazine articles, product brochures, or flyers, in which you want to preserve the original graphic appearance online. A PDF file contains one or more page images, each of which you can zoom in or out from. You can page forward and backward. Acrobat's PDF files are more than images of documents. Files can embed type fonts so that they're available at any viewing location. PDF files are optimized for the web by rendering text before graphic images and hypertext links. Summary. In this video we discussed Ascender and Descender, Lorem Ipsum, Orphans and Widows, Logo type, Logo mark and brand mark, Style guide, Scale, Aspect ratio, Grid, Embed, Cropping, Overlay, Dimensions, Die cut, Bleeds, Trim and crop marks, Print ready, Spread, Portrait, Landscape, Mockup, PDF. Raster. Raster images are made up of a set grid of pixels. This means, when you change the size or stretch a raster image, it can get a little blurry and lose some clarity. Mostly all devices use raster formats. Raster common formats. Number 1. Portable Network Graphics, .png. Number 2. Joint Photographic Experts Group, .jpeg. Number 3. Graphics Interchange Format, .gif. Number 4. Tagged Image Format File, .tif. Vector. Vector images are made up of points, lines, and curves. All of the shapes within a vector are calculated using a mathematical equation, which means the image can scale in size without losing any quality. Unlike rasters, vectors won't get blurry when scaled. You can find some great vector images to use within your designs on sites like Vecteezy. Vectors common formats. Number 1. Adobe Illustrator, AI. Number 2. Encapsulated PostScript, EPS. Number 3. Portable Document Format, .pdf. Number 4. Scalable vector graphics .svg. Note: vector files have very low size. Summary. In this video we discussed 1. Raster and 2. Vector. What is an infographic? Information graphics, or infographics, are graphic visual representations of information, data or knowledge, intended to present complex information quickly and clearly. The word infographic, as you are probably already aware, is a combination of information and graphic. As such, it's pretty easy to understand that an infographic is a graphic containing information. Importance of infographics. Infographics are designed for quick scanning of your content, unlike traditional methods of reading an entire paragraph of a business idea. Infographics attract people through the use of bright colors and appealing imagery. Before starting infographics, make sure you have to follow 2 points. Number 1. Be unique. One of the most important aspects of designing an effective infographic is to make it engaging and memorable with a unique twist on something that everyone can relate to. You need to design something unique that will capture the attention of the audience you are seeking to draw in. Number 2. Keep it simple. Even though you want to shoot for interesting and unique, don't throw in so much detail and extra information that the audience is overwhelmed by everything going on in your infographic. Seven rules to create infographics. Number 1. Make one big point. Number 2. Use simple combinations of primary colors. Number 3. Space it out. Number 4. Choose quality fonts with different type space. One for your title or header, one for your body, and a third for flavor. Number 5. Come up with a solid, eye-catching design. Number 6. Decide on what's important and what's not. Number 7. Make it addictive. When combined with the 7 above rules, infographic design and data visualization become a powerful tool in gaining the attention of our audience and in communicating our message. Summary. In this video we discussed 1. What is an infographic? 2. Importance of infographic. 3. 2 important points. Those are: be unique and keep it simple. 4. 7 rules for infographics. In the graphic design field, the decision maker is our client. In order to know them, to hear is the creative brief, to know what they are thinking about their project. It is more helpful to create their mindset. Number 1. Project details. Number 2. Scope of the project. Number 3. Demands: logo, stationery, banner, etc. Number 4. Objectives or target of the objectives. Number 5. Target audience. 1. Male or female. 2. Age group. 3. Class, middle, upper, higher class. 4. Personality. Number 6. Focus, visually what they want to communicate. Number 7. Look and feel, funky look, colorful, elegant type, minimal type designs. Number 8. Likes and dislikes, colors and combinations. Number 9. Client likes brands and dislikes brands. Number 10. Competitors in their field. Number 11. Budget. Number 12. Decision maker: how many members. Number 13. Timeline, when they want their project complete. This will help you to create an excellent project as a client thinking. Bonus point: if you are a client from another designing firm, you should have asked the below points to a designer before paying the amount. Number 1. Open file and PDF file. Number 2. JPEG and PNG as a high resolution. One colored, another black and white. Number 3. Fonts which he used in the project. If the free fonts he used, no issue, otherwise you should ask license of the font. Summary. In this video we discussed creative brief and file formats. Useful websites for images. 1. Pixabay.com. 2. Picpist.com. 3. www.freepik.com. 4. Unsplash.com. 5. Imagesbazaar.com. 6. Inverter.com. 7. www.shutterstock.com. 8. Negativespace.co. Useful websites for typography. 1. Fontpair.co. 2. Fonts.google.com. 3. Befonts.com. 4. Openfoundry.com/fonts. 5. Fontshop.com. 6. Incredibletypes.com/Neue-Luxury. Useful websites for games. 1. Bezier.method.ac. 2. Type.method.ac. Useful websites for colors. 1. Colorbook.io. 2. Codebeautify.org. Useful websites for inspiration. 1. Behance.net. 2. Dribbble.com. 3. Pinterest.com. Useful websites for design. 1. Canva.com. 2. Crello.com. 3. Photopea.com. Useful websites for mockups. 1. thebookcovers.com/3dmockups. 2. smartmockups.com. Useful websites for others. 1. coroflot.com/designers. 2. mixkit.co. 3. fuzzimo.com. Common sizes of graphic designs. Print category. T-shirt merchandise, Amazon. Hoodie merchandise, Amazon. Mugs merchandise, flyer, business card, postcard mailing, sales sheet, brochure, bifold, brochure, trifold, flyer, rack card, booklet, door hanger, large, door hanger, small, letterhead, menu, trifold, retractable banner, posters, half-page ad. Please download the file from this class's Google form. Social media category. Facebook post, Facebook ad, Facebook carousel ad, Facebook profile photo, Facebook banner, Facebook group cover, Instagram, Instagram story, Instagram profile image, Twitter header image, Twitter feed photo, Pinterest pins, Snapchat geo filter, YouTube channel cover art, YouTube thumbnail, LinkedIn banner, company, Google ad sizes. Please download the file from this class's Google form. Others. Podcast cover, blog post images, PowerPoint slide, 16:9, infographics, email signature, email header or newsletter, ebook cover, landing page. Please download the file from this class's Google form. Summary. In this video we discussed useful websites and common sizes of graphic designs. Common sizes for print. Common sizes for social media. Common sizes for others. Media. The advance of technology means that the range of media available, particularly digital media, continues to increase. New media present new possibilities and challenges for design thinking. The digital age sees a stream of emerging media for designers and their clients to embrace, which goes beyond merely creating a web page, Facebook, Twitter, blogs, and mobile phones that require designs to be presented in different ways. Tip number 1. Determine the target. Determining the target for a social media graphic design is like drawing up blueprints for a house. The target, or purpose of your design, will set the direction for the entire creative, i.e. building, process. Tip number 2. Size matters. Every social platform, such as Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, requires images with different specifications and different image types, for example image carousel, photo album, GIFs. Identify which platforms you're going to share your designs on before starting the design. Tip number 3. Tell your message visually. Most people scroll through social media slightly distracted, and only for a few minutes at a time. Use visuals, such as real stock photography or detailed illustrations, with minimal text to capture attention, and tell the story as quickly as possible. Tip number 4. Behind good design is good contrast. The right balance of light and dark can bring any social media graphic design layout to life. Combine contrasting colors. Search contrasting color palettes for combination ideas to make your social media graphic design a scroll topper. Tip number 5. Study the visual identity of the business. Create a flawless user experience by studying the visual identity of the business before you begin choosing design elements. The easiest way to study the visual identity of the brand is by referencing your branding guide. A branding guide is a collection of pre-selected fonts, color schemes, design elements, logo variations, and sample graphics that accurately represent a brand. Tip number 6. Keep it simple. The most widely agreed upon social media graphic design tip from Majestic Designs is to simply keep it simple. Tip number 7. Focus on what's important. Did you know it only takes the human eye 50 milliseconds to form an opinion on a visual? With only 0.05 seconds to get your message across, your social media graphic design must focus on what's important, and only on what's important. Create a visual hierarchy to make the headline text stand out from the body copy. Tip number 8. Browse modern design ideas. The best way to find graphic inspiration is by browsing current design trends on the platform you're utilizing. Take some time to look through the social pages of the top businesses or influencers in your industry and take note of the elements you liked. Graphic design tips. Number 1. Use only 2 fonts. Number 2. Learn how to pair fonts. Number 3. Pairing with big and small fonts. Number 4. Pairing with fancy and sans serif fonts. Number 5. Avoid font stroke. Number 6. Understanding letter spacing. Number 7. Space between paragraph. Number 8. Never stretch your font. Number 9. Always use original photography. Number 10. Know about white space. Number 11. Rule of thirds. Number 12. Create your own unique design style. Number 13. Listen to your client what they are saying. They are the well-known people of their product. Number 14. Inform and educate your clients for new updates. Number 15. Gain experience in know the work process. Number 16. Turn negative feedback into something positive. Number 17. Keep learning. Summary. In this video we discussed media and tip number 1. Determine the target. Tip number 2. Size matters. Tip number 3. Tell your message visually. Tip number 4. Behind good design is good contrast. Tip number 5. Study the visual identity of the business. Tip number 6. Keep it simple. Tip number 7, focus on what's important. Tip number 8, browse modern design ideas and graphic design tips. Why design matters. Most people know that graphic designers have commercial clients, creating solutions for brands and corporations. The visual communication profession helps to drive the economy, provide information to the public and promote competition, which can result in the research and development of goods and services. There is another side of graphic design that is less well known and vital to society. Designers use their expertise to inform people about important social and political issues and promote good causes. 6 essential questions. Becoming a good problem solver involves cultivating investigative thinking. Investigative journalists and law enforcement officers depend on these 6 questions. 1. Who? 2. What? 3. Where? 4. When? 5. Why? 6. How? Who is the audience? What is the problem? Where do this problem and potential solution exist? When does this happen? Why is it happening? How can you overcome this problem? Industries and sectors. Characteristically, designers tend to be curious. Many designers are the type of people who are interested in learning about a variety of industries and organizations, people who enjoy discovery and gathering raw materials. They become interested in their clients' sectors and spheres. Being a designer also requires a love of lifelong learning, of having the mindset of an explorer. Industries and sectors include agriculture, airlines, alcoholic beverages, beer, wine, and spirits, animal services, arts organizations, automotive and transportation, beverages, business services, charity organizations, child care organizations, churches and religious organizations. Communications, consumer products, education, energy and utilities, entertainment, environmental groups and organizations, fashion, financial services, food, government, healthcare, hotel and hospitality, human services, industrial institutions, insurance corporations or organizations, music, non-profits, political groups or organizations, private foundations, public foundations, real estate, restaurants, retail. Have you MENTIT? To ensure your arrangement is deliberate and each graphic component, visuals and type, is thoughtfully and deliberately positioned, consider employing these 4 reminders, which will aid awareness of how you position graphic elements in relation to the format. Here, the word relate means having some bearing to. It doesn't mean graphic components need to literally touch the midline, or edges. M equals midline. Relate all graphic components to the midline of the format. E equals edges. Relate all graphic components to the format's edges. N equals negative shapes or space. Consider all negative space. T equals transitions. Consider all transitions among graphic components. Basic compositional checklist. 1. Have you employed action to create visual interest, dynamics through contrast? 2. Have you used alignment to foster unity? 3. Have you arranged the composition to guide the viewer through the space? 4. Have you chosen a compositional approach that best enables communication? 5. Have you ordered the visual hierarchy for clarity? 6. Have you created visual interest? 7. Does your arrangement seem firm or tentative? 8. Have you MENT it? 9. Have you paid attention to the interstices? 10. Does your visualization of the concept enhance communication and meaning? Cover design. Often, people think of a book cover as just the front cover. The entire cover, including the spine, which is a key player in a bookstore environment, must be considered as a whole. Both the front and back can be treated as a continuous piece. Whether on a bookstore or library shelf, It is the spine of the book that works to grab the reader's attention. Here is checklist. 1. Attract and intrigue readers. 2. Express the essence of the editorial content. 3. Consider proportions of trim size when composing. 4. Design the spine for graphic impact and readability. 5. Treat back cover and spine as part of the whole design. Do's and don'ts of advertising. There are no rules in advertising because it is a creative business/field that needs to break rules to grab people's attention. However, the novice needs some useful guidelines. Do's. 1. Design should grab someone's attention. 2. Communicate one clear message per ad. 3. Create visual/verbal synergy. 4. Determine a functional or emotional benefit. 5. Avoid cliché visuals and copy. 6. Visual and line should not repeat one another. 7. Write in plain, conversational language. Avoid copy that sounds like a sales pitch. 8. Break copy lines in logical places. Line breaks should echo breaks in speech. 9. Respect the audience. 10. Reflect diversity. Don'ts. 1. Don't use the brand's or group's logo as the headline. 2. Don't use headlines, taglines, or body copy from existing ads. 3. Don't employ negative stereotypes. Summary. In this video we discussed why design matters. 6 essential questions. Industries and sectors. Have you MENTIT? Basic compositional checklist. Cover design. Do's and don'ts of advertising. Color theory. Color is the characteristic of human visual perception described through color categories, with names such as red, orange, yellow, green, blue, or purple. This perception of color derives from the stimulation of cone cells in the human eye by electromagnetic radiation in the visible spectrum. Primary colors. These 3 primary colors are the foundation of the color wheel. Their true color pigments cannot be created by mixing any other combination of colors. All other colors in the color wheel are derived from these 3 color hues. Number 2. Secondary colors. These secondary color hues are created by mixing equal parts of 2 primary colors together. Red plus blue equals violet. Red plus yellow equals orange. Blue plus yellow equals green. Number 3. Tertiary colors. In total, there are 6 tertiary colors. These tertiary color hues are created by mixing equal parts of a primary and secondary color together. Blue from primary plus violet from secondary equals blue-violet. Red from primary plus violet from secondary equals red-violet. Red from primary plus orange from secondary equals red-orange. Yellow from primary plus orange from secondary equals yellow-orange. Yellow from primary plus green from secondary equals yellow-green. Blue from primary plus green from secondary equals blue-green. Number 4. Analogous. Analogous color schemes use colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. They usually match well and create serene and comfortable designs. Number 5. Complementary. Colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel are considered to be complementary colors. Example, blue-violet and yellow-orange. Number 6. Triadic. A triadic color scheme uses colors that are evenly spaced around the color wheel. Cool and warm colors. Warm colors are made with red, orange, yellow and various combinations of these colors. They give a friendly, happy, cozy vibe. Cool colors such as blue, green and light purple have the ability to calm and soothe. Gradient. A gradient is a gradual change of colors, such as green turning gradually into blue, or a color fading into transparency. There are two common types of gradients, radial and linear. Opacity. It is often used in graphics software to define how non-transparent an image is. In other words, the more transparent an image or image layer is, the lower its opacity. Opacity enables us to make an element of a design transparent. The lower the opacity, the more transparent an element is. For example, 100% opacity means an object is solid. Hue and tint. Essentially, a hue is a way to describe a color, and a hue can be any color on the color wheel. For example, red, blue and yellow are all hues. A tint is a variety of color. Crafty explains that tints are created when you add white to any hue on the color wheel. This lightens and desaturates the hue, making it less intense. Hex. A hex is a 6-digit number used in HTML, CSS, and design software applications to represent colors. Palette. A color palette comprises of colors that can be utilized for any illustration or design work that represents your brand. The chosen colors should be designed to work harmoniously with each other. Monochrome. An image created in black and white or in varying tones of only one color. Monochrome is used to describe design or photographs in one color or different shades of a single color. RGB. This model uses the colors R red, G green and B blue. This is used for digital ads, e.g. applied on social media ads, website headers, email signatures, TV ads. RGB tends to be used for on-screen purposes only. CMYK. This model uses the colors cyan C, magenta M, yellow Y and black K. This is used for color printing purpose only. For example, applied on flyers, brochures, billboards. CMYK colors begin as white and then get darker as more colors are combined. Pantone. A standardized color matching system, utilizing the Pantone numbering system for identifying colors. The Pantone Matching System, PMS, is a standardized color reproduction system. Every hue is given a number, making it easy for people to reference and reproduce the same colors. Color value. An actual shade of lightness. It basically starts with light and ends with dark. Color psychology. Observe the colors with their written names and understand color psychology. Color psychology. Observe the colors with their written names and understand color psychology. Color psychology. Observe the colors with their written names and understand color psychology. Color psychology. Observe the colors with their written names and understand color psychology. Color psychology. Observe the colors with their written names and understand color psychology. Color psychology. Observe the colors with their written names and understand color psychology. Color psychology. Observe the colors with their written names and understand color psychology. Color psychology. Observe the colors with their written names and understand color psychology. Working with color. Color is a powerful communication tool because it can grab the attention and make things stand out and look more attractive. The subtle and sparing use of color can elevate a design and can apply emphasis just where it is needed to increase the effectiveness of a piece of communication. The communication power of color extends much further than simply highlighting particular pieces of text. Colors also convey symbolic cultural meanings. The color lexicon changes as cultures change, providing the designer with an opportunity to better connect with a target group, but it also runs the risk of alienating it due to color choices. For example, Western culture associates white with marriage and black with death, but this is not the case in other parts of the world. Understanding cultural color associations can help ensure the success of communication, as color choices can reinforce a message or undermine it. Summary. In this video we discussed color theory, primary colors, secondary colors, tertiary colors, analogous, complementary, triadic, cool and warm colors, gradient, opacity, hue and tint, hex, palette, monochrome, RGB and CMYK, Pantone, color value and color psychology. Images. An image is a visual representation of something. In information technology, the term has several usages. An image is a picture that has been created or copied and stored in electronic form. An image can be described in terms of vector graphics or raster graphics. An image stored in a raster form is sometimes called a bitmap. An image map is a file containing information that associates different locations on a specified image with hypertext links. Common image file formats. Number 1. JPEG. Number 2. GIF. Number 3. PNG. Number 4. SVG. Number 5. TIFF. Number 6. Icon. Let's explore in detail. Number 1. JPEG. JPEG is a graphic image file produced according to a standard from the Joint Photographic Experts Group, an ISO or IEC group of experts that develops and maintains standards for a suite of compression algorithms for computer image files. JPEGs usually have a JPG file extension. Number 2. GIF. GIF, pronounced JIF by many, including its designer, pronounced GIF with a hard G by many others, stands for Graphics Interchange Format. The GIF uses the 2D raster data type and is encoded in binary. GIF files ordinarily have the GIF extension. PNG. PNG, pronounced PNG, is a portable network graphics, is a file format for image compression that was designed to provide a number of improvements over the GIF format. Like a GIF, a PNG file is compressed in lossless fashion, meaning all image information is restored when the file is decompressed during viewing. Files typically have a PNG extension. In simple words, PNG files do not have a background. SVG. SVG is scalable vector graphics, the description of an image as an application of XML. Any program such as a browser that recognizes XML can display the image using the information provided in the SVG format. Scalability means that the file can be viewed on a computer display of any size and resolution, whether the small screen of a smartphone or a large widescreen display in a PC. Files usually have SVG extension. TIFF. TIFF, Tag Image File Format, is a common format for exchanging raster graphics, bitmap, images between application programs, including those used for scanner images. A TIFF file can be identified as a file with a TIFF or TIFF file name suffix. Icon. Icons are images used to represent an action or an object. For example, a pen icon could represent someone writing, action, or simply a pen, object. When using icons, think carefully about what you want to signify and how clear it is to your audience. Resolution. Resolution refers to the sharpness and clarity of an image. Number 1. Standard resolution for printing 300p. Number 2. Standard resolution for digital materials 72p. The resolution of an image determines the quality. As a rule of thumb, the higher the resolution, the higher the quality. A high-resolution image will be clear and crisp, whereas a low-resolution image will feel a little pixelated and blurry. Contrast. Contrast occurs when two elements on a page are different. For example, it could be different colors between the text and the background color, or dark versus light colors. One of the main reasons to use contrast in your designs is to grab attention. Saturation. Saturation refers to the intensity or purity of a color. The more saturated a color is, the more vivid or brighter it appears, whereas desaturated colors appear a little duller. Highly saturated images tend to stand out and draw attention, therefore giving the appearance of carrying more weight than less saturated images. If you're adding a text layer over a picture and would like it to stand out, using a less saturated background can be a great way to do so. Blur. Blur makes images more unclear or less distinct. Using a blur can be a great way to make text stand out when overlaid onto an image. When you put text over an image, the two elements can form a somewhat competitive relationship. A little blur can make the text stand out more and appear much more readable. Crop. When you crop an image, you're cutting away and discarding the unnecessary portions of the image. Cropping allows you to change the emphasis or direction of an image. Pixel. A pixel is a minuscule area of a screen. The word comes from picture element. Pixels are the smallest basic unit of programmable color on a computer, and images are made up of many individual pixels. PPI, pixels per inch. PPI is a measure of the sharpness, that is, the density of illuminated points on a display screen. DPI, dots per inch. A printing term referring to the number of physical dots of ink in a printed document. Working with images. Images have the ability to convey an idea or a lot of information very quickly, which is why images are such a prominent part of graphic design. As we all know, a picture paints 1,000 words, so it is worth spending adequate time on image selection and presentation. Images can be used to communicate in many different ways as they are very versatile, and their reading can be conditioned by other factors at play during their presentation. Images can have different cultural and social interpretations, and these can be shaped by the contexts within which they are used. The cultural groups they are directed towards, the inclusion or exclusion of particular signs and symbols shared by a cultural group, the use or absence of conditioning agents such as wit and humor, and appropriation of historical meaning, are all factors that might influence the meaning drawn from an image. The way an image or design is rendered also has an impact. A black and white sketch conveys a different feel from a glossy print. Summary. In this video we discussed images. Common image file formats. 1. JPEG. 2. GIF. 3. PNG. 4. SVG. 5. TIFF. 6. Icon. Resolution. Contrast. Saturation. blur, pixel and working with images. Paul Rand, IBM logo designer. Paul Rand was an American art director and graphic designer, best known for his corporate logo designs, including the logos for IBM, UPS, Enron, Morningstar Incorporated, Westinghouse, ABC, and Next. Tom Geismer, mobile logo designer. Tom and Ivan were original founders of CGH Studio. His designs for Xerox, Chase Manhattan Bank, Best Products, Gemini Consulting, PBS, Univision, Rockefeller Center and, most notably, Mobile, 1964, have received worldwide acclaim. Paula Scher, Citibank logo designer. Paula is an American graphic designer, and the first female principal at Pentagram. Her graphic identities for Citibank and Tiffany & Company have become case studies for the contemporary regeneration of American brands. Rob Janoff, Apple logo designer. Rob is a graphic designer of corporate logos and identities, printed advertisements and television commercials. He is best known for his creation of the colorful Apple logo. James Modrolli, NASA logo designer. James Jim Modrolli began his career as an artist designer at the laboratory that would become the NASA Glenn Research Center, and he designed the NASA logo in 1959. Frank Mason, Coca-Cola logo designer. Frank was an important early marketer and advertiser of what became known as Coca-Cola. He also designed the Coca-Cola iconic script logo. Frank suggests the name Coca-Cola set in a Spencerian script font in 1887. Caroline Davidson, Nike logo designer. Caroline Davidson is a graphic designer, best known for designing the Nike swoosh logo. Caroline was a student at the time when the founder of Nike asked her to design a logo. Raymond Loewy, Shell logo designer. Raymond Loewy was a French-born American industrial designer who achieved fame for the magnitude of his design efforts across a variety of industries, especially the Shell logo.